Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and back in September, I attended LEGO Fan Media Days, a place in Billund, Denmark where we got a chance to see a ton of the brand new 2024 LEGO sets, including some of the March Ninjago sets. And well, the day has finally come. The March Ninjago sets have been officially revealed, and so I cannot wait to finally publish the full interview that I had with both LEGO designers at the roundtable, Tooth Dominoes, aka Neek, as well as Lee Chi Wing, who designed the LEGO Ninjago March and January waves, and you can see them right now. And so, let's transport ourselves over to Billund, Denmark to take a look at the LEGO tour and these brand new Ninjago sets in hand to play with. And I will say that Kai's Climber Mech, at least with the leg articulation, is looking really fun and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Let's go. Okay, so in addition to the previously revealed Lloyd's Mech, there are 5 other new Ninjago sets releasing on March 1st, and out of those 5, we got to see 4 of them over at Fan Media Days, which means I do have some additional footage, pictures, and videos of some of these brand new sets. This is a really exciting wave, especially because it's really our first taste of what's to come for the story of Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2, especially after the first wave that we got in January was primarily mech focused, based a lot on the shorts and not necessarily on the main TV show itself. Starting off with the smallest set and working our way up to the largest one, we have Baby Dragon Ryu for $16 with 132 pieces, Aaron's Buggy, which is $50 and has 267 pieces, which is kind of strangely overpriced to be honest, Kai's Climber Mech with 623 pieces coming in at $70, the Shadow Dojo for 1,192 pieces coming at $110, and lastly, the Dragonstone Shrine for $120 with 1,212 pieces. Altogether, this is a really diverse and varied wave of Ninjago focusing primarily on location-based sets, something that I personally have been really wanting to see from Ninjago for a long time. We finally are getting not one, but 2 absolutely massive location-based sets, and I'm really excited to showcase them right now. But first, let's start off with the Baby Dragon Ryu, or specifically Young Dragon Ryu, set number 71810. Again, this retails for $16 and comes with Aaron, Sora, and a Wolf Mask Warrior. Now, what's really exciting for me about this particular set is that when we were shown it during Fan Media Days, we didn't even realize that Sora was going to be getting a new show-accurate hairpiece. The one that we saw was just the normal hood, so for me it was a total surprise when this actually leaked a few weeks ago and we saw that she's getting a hairpiece. That is so cool. I honestly thought it was going to be like a Zane hairpiece situation where we might have to potentially wait years and years before getting the right hairpiece, but no, just 1 year into Dragons Rising, we are getting an accurate hairpiece for Sora, which is really exciting. Young Dragon Ryu has obviously grown up in between seasons, and we know there's at least a year time skip from Season 1 to Season 2, so it makes total sense that they wanted to pick the characters, and particularly the dragon character, as a little bit older, and I think that a lot of the theories surrounding Ryu being the missing 7th Source Dragon are probably true, given the prominence of Ryu in the story, but of course we'll have to see. I have no insider information on that. Now, for Ninjago's March wave, we are getting a brand new ninja-styled climbing hook. It's integrating the dragon headpiece that was used in a lot of the hilts for the Ninjago Golden Weapons of 2019 March of the Oni, as well as Hunted before that, and I really like how they're actually integrating the same design philosophy when focusing on climbing equipment and gear for this particular Ninjago wave. And for $16, a set that includes a ton of specialized new recolors like the wings as well as the SCCBS shell, as well as a brand new mold for the headpiece of Ryu, I think is actually a pretty good deal. Like everyone else, I just wish that Aaron and Sora had new outfits for this particular outing. It is very strange that 2 new members of the team are introduced but don't really necessarily have new outfits. The hairpiece is nice, but it's not quite the same as a brand new ninja suit, and if I had to imagine, this is probably similar to what they were doing back when Nia was first made into a full-on ninja, where she would get maybe only 1 suit every few years, and what they were doing with Master Wu as well, but I'm really hoping they'll start treating them as full-on members of the team and will eventually actually get them as full-on ninja with specialized suits for each one of them, because that would be really cool. Moving on from that though, we can take a look at one of the larger sets. This was actually a total surprise to me because we were not shown this one during Fan Media Days. This is Aaron's Ninja Off-Road Buggy Car. Retailing for $50 with 267 pieces, and coming with Cole in a climbing suit, the new Elemental Master of Smoke, Cinder, as well as Aaron and one of the Wolf Mask Warriors. Strangely enough, Baby Ryu is included in the set, which makes me wonder if there's going to be different time periods for Season 2, like will Ryu grow up over the course of Season 2 and whatnot, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. This set to me is actually a pretty solid Buggy. I think the color scheme is pretty cool, evoking the dark blue of his jeans pattern integrated with the flame yellowish orange, which is not a color scheme I would have expected him to have, but one that actually works surprisingly well. The only big issue is that this seems to be really overpriced for some reason. I don't really know why this particularly is so much more expensive than a lot of the other sets in the wave. 267 parts for $50, even if 4 of those parts are large wheel pieces, just doesn't really make that much sense to me. It does look like the Buggy has some sort of suspension built in, and if I had to guess, you could actually dangle it from the hook in the back, which probably required a little bit more additional engineering effort, but still, it does feel a little bit too much for what you're getting, and I really hope this doesn't send the wrong sign to LEGO that people are not willing to purchase sets based on Aaron. We definitely are, but maybe not ones that are this expensive compared to what you get. Still, it is cool to get a climber suit for Cole, and more on the climber suits when I actually do an in-depth dive on them for the next set we're going to take a look at, but overall I think they're pretty cool, and the fact that every single one of the ninja has dual molded armor, or at least the core ninja team, is very, very interesting. But moving on from that, we have come to some of my favorite sets in the wave. This is Kai's Climber Mech. This is a really interesting 4-armed mech that honestly has drawn a lot of criticism ever since images of it first leaked months ago, but having it in hand and experiencing what it was like to play with in person, I have to say I'm a pretty big fan. One of the reasons why I love the set so much is that the knees and ankles are actually articulated using an older LEGO Bionicle element, the piston piece that they used for Bionicle Titans all the way back in 2006. I never thought they would actually use that for pistons of a buildable figure again, but I was actually talking to the LEGO designer behind this, Neek aka Tooth Dominoes, and he said it was explicitly something they've been trying to integrate into mechs, but really had to wait and find where it fit for the right aesthetic. It definitely feels a lot more mechanical and robotic compared to a lot of the other proportions that they want to do for the standard mechs, so they were really waiting for the perfect mech to use it on, and Kai's Climber Mech is one. The one thing that really impressed me about the set is you can literally deploy the climbing hooks, and it can actually dangle from the climbing hooks themselves. Of course, I had to take a picture of myself holding this mech by literally just one of the strings. It was pretty crazy just how sturdy it was. I could have swung it around, you can really just be very rough with it, and it stays together. And I feel like having that in hand and just playing with it dangling from one string definitely sold me on the set itself. It was so much fun to play with, and I think just comparing it to actual official images with having it in hand, I definitely would recommend this set because it's so much more playable than you would imagine. Yes, it is a little unfortunate that this does not have elbow articulation. For the lower limbs, I honestly don't really know why it doesn't have elbow articulation. I don't really know why they couldn't have just included a ratchet joint for the elbows, but it's not that big of a deal because those climbing arms are actually really fun and hold up very well, and the shaping of the cockpit is really good too. It's one of the most intricate and interestingly shaped Ninjago mechs we've ever done, and another absolutely phenomenal set by the master of Ninjago mechs, and of course, this does include a whole lineup of minifigures as well. From Climber Kai, Climber Jay, to Wildfire in her new outfit, which we've already seen revealed all the way last year when we were showcased the 4+ set coming out for this wave, as well as Jordana with a glider. The focus is on the climbing suits for the ninja, and when we were shown them during fan media days, they didn't actually have the graphic design completed for the torsos and legs yet, so they basically were just using the standard kind of LEGO prototype material that they were using for minifigure torsos and legs, which actually was pretty cool to have that in person to experience what that was like, but we did get a chance to get hands-on with the actual armor pieces themselves, and I have to say, I'm a little mixed on them. This is probably the most intricately dual-molded armor piece that we've ever gotten for the main ninja characters themselves. And that is normally a really good thing. It's really exciting to have these in hand, it looks so good, but my one big complaint about the way the armor's done is the same complaint I had about the Season 1 Dragon's Rising suits. The masks are integrated with the armor themselves, which means that if you want to pose the ninja with the armor, they basically have to be looking straight forwards, you can't turn their heads. Even if you were to remove the hoods and put the hairpieces on, you can't actually turn the heads with the hairpieces because the mask is just fully fixed. As someone who loves taking photos of the Ninjago characters in all sorts of different places and posing them by actually turning their heads, this feels like a step backwards, where I really wish that the masks were just integrated with the hood attached to the masks themselves, so when you remove the hood piece, the mask went with it. Otherwise, it is still really cool to get pieces like these. I think the coloration is phenomenal. The dark red being used with Kai and dark blue for Jay is a really smart choice. I feel like it definitely adds a lot more realism and kind of aesthetics to the climber suits themselves. So I'm definitely very mixed on them. I think the armor pieces are so cool, but the fact that you can't turn the heads is a big con. Otherwise, Wildfire is really cool. A new hairpiece designed specifically for her is nice. I find it kind of funny how Wildfire had a different suit before Eren and Sora got one, but I guess they're just treating them slightly differently in the way that they have them set up. It's just an interesting thing I did want to point out, but overall, it's a really cool type of set. I'm excited to get this in hand, and we can move on to the next set. But moving on from that, we can take a look at the penultimate set. This is the Dragonstone Shrine, retailing for $120. This is a really beautifully detailed, location-based Ninjago set, and I'll let the designer of the set, Lee Chi-wing, actually introduce the set for all of you right now.
This model, we really want to do something for the higher age mark, because we know Ninjago has been a long-running series and a lot of fans grew up with it by now. So want something that looks nice on the shelf and maybe a little bit more challenging to build. And we didn't know what it would be at the time, but I came in and pitched this idea of making this Dragonstone Shrine. And everyone liked it enough, so we get to make it in product. But I still managed to get some play features in so that it doesn't just sit on the shelf. Here you get a playing function where you can fight on top of the rock, and it all is activated by this sliding.
Oh, it's a slider. Okay,
so
nice.
Hopefully it will be interesting when you build it.
That is
and then the second play feature is on the second floor here in the library. So it looks very normal, but then one of the books is actually a trigger that revealed a secret compartment of a secret book that holds the dark secrets that you will find out. Yeah,
That's what's on there.
in the show.
Interesting.
No, he's not.
It's Evil Wu.
Yeah, it's Tech Woo. Tech Woo.
Yeah, it's originally General Grievous's Starship.
That's why I looked earlier.
This is easily my favorite Ninjago set of the wave, and it might be one of my favorite Ninjago location-based sets ever. Despite having over 1,200 pieces, this does feel a little bit more compact in person, but that's just because it is remarkably detailed. The sculpting on the way the dragon head is done, curving around the body, with a pond in the arch of the body, all overlooking a lake, is really interesting, and one of the most diverse styles of Ninjago building sets that we've gotten from the theme itself. The minifig selection is pretty good. For one, it's really cool to get Euphrasia as a minifigure. I never expected we would get a minifigure like that so soon, and while it's unfortunate that the face and hair are pretty much just generic city expressions, it's really cool to get a brand new torso and leg set for the character, especially because the one they used in the original season 1 of the show was pretty much just a generic Cloud Kingdom robe outfit. The set does come with a white hood to put on Euphrasia, which is perfect, just to match her depiction in the show itself, and it does also come with Master Lloyd with an armor, but strangely no cape. I really thought they were going to give him a cape in this one, as well as Lord Raz and Kai and Nia strangely in their Season 1 Dragon's Rising suits, but with dual molded hairpieces. It also does come with Sensei Wu, which is kind of strange. I'm not sure if that's a spoiler for the TV show, because obviously Wu has been missing for a long time, but this is actually a brand new outfit for him, so I wonder what they're going to do with it. I've heard rumors that this set is not supposed to be canon in the show, but honestly, I don't necessarily know if those are true. I'm pretty sure people just assume that because of the Season 1 suits and Master Wu appearing in the set, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was a location they do visit in the show. Whether or not Master Wu, Euphrasia, Lord Raz, and Kai and Nia are all there at the same time? Probably not, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Regardless, it is a beautiful looking set. I love the cherry tree overlooking the set itself, and this is such a cool one to add to the collection. For $120, despite it feeling a little bit smaller in hand, by piece count it is very fair, and I definitely want to play around with this a lot more to really judge if it's worth it, but for me, it feels really solid as it is. And moving on from that, we can take a look at the final set, which is the Shadow Wolf Mask Dojo. This retails for $110 US and is one of the most recent villain-based location sets we've gotten from Ninjago in a long time. Typically what Ninjago does is focus primarily on the heroes. We get a ton of hero mechs and vehicles, and maybe the villains nowadays will get a small $20 set, if that. Unfortunately, it is kind of just like that because hero sets sell better than villain sets. But thankfully, they're going all out on March 1st. We'll be getting a full-on villain-focused Shadow Dojo, which looks absolutely phenomenal. This is another one of the sets that we didn't get a chance to see at Fan Media Days, so it was a total surprise for me to be able to actually take a look at these sets tonight, and this is such a cool model. It comes with Climber Lloyd, Climber Zane, Climber Nia, as well as Lord Raz, Cinder, Jordana, and a Wolf Mask Warrior, and Climber Kai, which is a really good minifigure selection. You get a good variety of all the different characters, and I just wish there were more up-close images of the ninja in their climber suits because I am really excited to see those, especially Climber Lloyd and Zane. Those look really good from the small images we have. I'm sure by the time this video comes out, there will be more high-def images. I've basically just been given these kind of lower-res ones to work with, but even just by looking at this up front, the detailing is really cool. I love how there is a battle arena in the center of it where you can actually act as a dojo in the center. The only unfortunate thing is that this does suffer from the LEGO playset syndrome of it being very clearly a facade. It basically is just a vertical wall. Sometimes Ninjago playsets have been better than others in that regard. For instance, back in 2019 for the Hunted Wave, we got the Dragon Pit, which was a really good 3D structure with a lot of interior space as well as being a full-on pit. This one obviously is a bit cheaper, but it is just very, very flat, and it almost feels like it's begging to be expanded out as a full-on mock to actually make it a large building instead of just a facade for the temple exterior. Still, the shaping and detailing is really good. This is giving me heavy Legends of Chima vibes with a gigantic brick-built wolf head in the center of the dojo. I love the color scheme and architecture as well. The dark pink with dark blue and black looks really, really good, and it's a very solid color scheme for the villain faction. I'm excited to see what role this will play in the show, and it even does have a specialized blood moon above the set itself, covering the entire Ninjago logo on the box, which is really crazy how they have that literally eclipsing the Ninjago text. So I'm really excited to get this set to see what it's like in the show, and I definitely want to put out a review on this and actually be able to play around with it, see how 3D it is to see if it is worth the $110, but it is very large, very menacing, and it's just really cool to get a large-scale villain set because we haven't gotten one in a while. But with that, we've about summed up our look at the brand new March Ninjago sets. Don't forget, there's also Lloyd's Elemental Mech, as well as the 4+ Fire Source Dragon coming on March 1st as well, rounding out this wave to a total of 7 sets, plus the Micro Ninjago City GWP, which is coming at some point, and we also got a chance to get a hands-on look at that, although unfortunately I can't show that many photos because we did get a chance to see some of the other ones in the series, and those ones haven't quite been revealed yet. Once they are all revealed, I'll be able to post the full unedited interview that we did at Fan Media Days in Billund, Denmark, so definitely stay tuned to that for more in-depth designer insights on these particular sets. I really was only able to show a few clips and images because you can see some other stuff in the background that hasn't been revealed, but don't worry, once everything is revealed, I'll be putting out a full video on the full uncut interview, so definitely stay tuned for that because I know a ton of people are waiting and are really excited, and I'm really excited to post it as well. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this look at the brand new March 1st LEGO Ninjago sets, and let me know which ones are your favorites down in the description and comments below. Alright, and with that, we have summed up our look at the brand new March Ninjago sets, as well as the full-on interview from set designer Tooth Dominoes and Lee. Thank you so much to both of them for arranging this particular interview and roundtable. It was actually a huge challenge just logistically getting the Ninjago team together to be able to present. They only were able to present to us thanks to a slot opening up in the schedule, so thank you to the LEGO Ambassador Network for also trying to work with us and them to get this presentation and make it a reality. I am so excited that we've been able to share this Ninjago stuff with you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know down in the comments what are your favorite new March 2024 LEGO Ninjago sets, and which ones are you the most excited for. Thanks so much for tuning into Duckbricks. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming away very soon, and bye for now.